Hi everyone, welcome to the Q&A Monday today. So it is a bank holiday Monday, and as I probably messaged, probably you've seen my Facebook post, we're going to talk about something different. We're not going to talk about anything about tax, nothing at all, nothing serious. So we're going to talk about health and wealth connection. Because what we realize is it actually pays to look after health. And your ultimate wealth is actually your health. So just before we start, of course, today we're having Sherilyn as our guest to talk about this topic. But before we go into more details, then just share a little bit why I do this. Because as you probably know, I'm an accountant. I help people with the tax, help them to sleep better and have peace of mind if their finances are sorted. But what I've realized, one thing is I work with healthcare professionals all the time. And the second thing is health is always something I'm passionate about. In fact, this business eventually it serves with human health. Well, on one side, I work with healthcare professionals. If I help them to have a peace of mind, then they'll be healthier. And on the other side, I do donate part of my business revenue to the global causes around health. So ultimately, it is serving something that is close to my heart. And also, health is actually, when you are healthier, you have more energy and you're more productive. And eventually, you earn more money and you learn more about your finances and you can manage it better. So that's very important. Just a little bit, some of my research is actually quite shocking. At the moment, it costs more than £11 billion a year. It costs the government more than £11 billion a year to treat the diseases that are related to poor lifestyle choices. So these included like diabetes, cancer, obesity. But most of these things can be prevented by lifestyle, like healthy lifestyle choices. So today we have Sherilyn here. As said, she is very enthusiastic in health. She is also a very busy professional because she has a full-time job as well as a part-time business. So most of us are busy, but most of us are thinking, yeah, I'm too busy to cook. I'm too busy to exercise. So today we are talking more about this. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to hand over to Sherilyn. Just introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi everyone, so I'm Sherilyn, and so obviously Hannah invited me to have a little chat with you guys tonight on the live and just go through a bit of some tips and top tips that I've got when it comes to health related things that I can help you with. I'm not by any means, a big professional and everything, but I definitely am very, very enthusiastic about health. I use a lot of health products and I tend to look after myself quite well as well. Obviously, particularly living in London, it can be a little bit of a crazy lifestyle, so just about kind of keeping that balance. I've learned a lot over the past kind of couple of years in terms of looking after my health, and it really, really is starting to pay off quite a lot. So any tips that I can share with you, I'm more than happy to. So my background is actually in a completely different industry. So it's in sort of dance and performing arts. So that's always meant that I have been very, very active. And obviously looking after your joints and your body and your muscles and everything is quite difficult sometimes. So I think with that background in dance, it always kind of led me to, how can I make sure I'm keeping fit, even if I'm slowing down on the dance activity. So that's what I've started doing really over the past kind of about year or so.
Wow, that's brilliant. Active lifestyle. For me, I also keep a very active lifestyle. It's like this morning I just been to boot camp. So like looking after your joints, eating healthy, that's part of the life. But as one thing I pick up from what you said is, first of all, probably none of us are like particularly health professionals, but actually you are good enough to look after your health, no matter what profession you are in, so as long as you prioritize it. And the second thing, people come back to busy professionals. people say too busy to keep a healthy lifestyle, but there's a myth around that. So Sherilyn, as we know, you do have a very busy lifestyle, especially living in London. So what's your tip around that? What do you think about that? Like too busy to exercise or things like that?
Yeah, so I think it's very easy to fall into that trap of being too busy to kind of eat healthy or being too busy to exercise and get out there and do some physical activity. We've all done it, we've all made excuses, and that's normal, it's human behaviour. However, I've got some little tips that have helped me, particularly like I said when living in London, to prioritise things a little bit better and plan effectively. So a lot of it comes down to planning. So I prepare a lot of meals now. So rather than just cooking on the day that I need to eat the food or whatever, I'll always cook in bulk. And I think that's something that came from my family background. My grandma's always cooked to feed the 5,000. So I think that now I'll just cook as if I'm feeding the whole family, and I'll just literally put them all into little containers and prepare it. It just means that then has given me a really easy meal the next day, or at lunch the next day or whatever. But it also means that I'm controlling what's going into that meal. I think there are some amazing healthy alternative food options that you can get now. Before it was quite difficult to get healthy food on the go, but now it's becoming more and more popular. So there's a lot of options out there, but they do tend to be a little bit more pricey. So all I do is literally go to Pret or go to those health food shops, I suppose, and look at the recipes and think, right, okay, next time I'm going to just make that myself. And it means that I'm eating healthy, but I'm still eating something a little bit adventurous, and then I prepare it as well. So same thing, I'll literally cook it in bulk, put it all into different containers, and that has saved me time, and it's also saved me money. And I think a lot of people can make excuses around health related to money, but I think if you're looking at what you're getting value-wise, it makes it so worth it in the long run.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting because at the moment I do pack my own lunch. I think that's really, one thing is of course save money, and the other thing is just to give you a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Like what's putting in there, as opposed to go to a restaurant, you never know what's the recipe, what's in there. So it's really give you much in control. And of course, I pick up something you said, like prioritize.
Yeah.
That's also a very important thing. Of course, scheduling, planning is very important. So when it comes to prioritize, I would say from my personal experience is do something related to health as soon as you get out of bed.
Yeah.
So that's perhaps you call it like morning routine or things like that. I know, Sherilyn, you have some tips around morning routine and how you can start the day healthy. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I think it comes from, sometimes you have to kind of go down a bit of a downward spiral in order to realise that you're kind of on the wrong track, I suppose. And I recently was like, right, okay, but I'm not enjoying my mornings. I was like, I need to do something that's going to wake me up there in the morning. And I used to be really, really good at a morning routine, and it's kind of slowly, it did start to deteriorate. So I was like, right, now I'm going to do what I used to do back beforehand. And one of the first things I would say for preparing for your morning is, okay, so first of all, what I'm going to say is health is all about, yes, body and everything, but your health starts with your mind. So if you're not got your mind in the right sort of healthy place in the morning, it's really, really difficult to pick that up later on in the day. So the first thing that your body is exposed to in the morning, whether it's your mind or your physical body, is really important because that tends to stay with you for the rest of the day. So I think, a lot of you on here could probably agree that 9 times out of 10 when you wake up in the morning, it might be that your phone wakes you up, so your alarm wakes you up, you might press snooze and go back to bed, or you might click, cancel the alarm. But then the next thing you probably do is either click on Facebook or Instagram or something and end up scrolling through your newsfeed. And that can be a really good thing, but it also can be a really, really bad thing because you're out of control as to what your mind is exposed to. For example, someone might post something really, really positive on Facebook in the morning. It might be something that wakes you up, makes you feel really, really good for the rest of the day. But alternatively, 9 times out of 10, you might scroll across a negative news article, something really unfortunate that's happened, something quite negative and quite bad. It could be a horrible status, it could be anything. But you're kind of allowing your body to be at that risk because you don't know what you're going to see first thing. So whatever you see, whatever you're scrolling through, it's all absorbed into your mind, and whether it's consciously or not, it might be subconsciously, but it's sinking into your mind. And if it does happen to be something negative, then that can affect the rest of your day without you even realising where it's come from. So a lot of the time we wake up on the wrong wrong side of the bed, we're not waking up on the wrong side of the bed, but we're going straight to our phone, and that's putting us in that mind frame. So I think having a routine that takes you away from that is so important. So first of all, what you want to do is, even if you use your phone as an alarm, I think if you can, have an alarm clock and then put your phone on the other side of the room, and just don't bother with that, because that makes it a little bit less tempting to go on Facebook straight away. But if you can't do that, no problem. You have your alarm on your phone, you cancel the button, whatever, and then you put your phone down to one side. Before you have a chance to look at all your notifications, your WhatsApp, everything that's come through, just take some time to yourself. And this has really been helping me. So I'm not just saying this as something for you to go do. This is something I genuinely do every morning now. So I've got a little pad and a notebook and pen next to my top drawer. So I literally get that, open it in the morning, and I do a couple of things just to start my day. So the first thing I do is write down 3 things that I'm really grateful for. And they can be anything. They can be, something so basic as the fact that you woke up that morning, you've still got your life. Or it could be something like you're grateful because you had an amazing conversation with somebody, or you're grateful for someone in your life that's really helped you. It could be anything, but write down 3 things that you're really grateful for. That instantly puts you into a more positive frame of mind as soon as you wake up in the morning, because it's making you think about things that make you happy. So that's subconsciously making you a lot happier. So that's the first thing that I'll do. Then I'll write down 3 affirmations. So if you guys don't know much about affirmations, don't worry about it. But they are basically statements that you say to yourself that help you believe them. So they might not be true straight away. It could be anything. Even say, for example, if you're working towards your goal weight and you want to be healthier and fitter, or whatever it is that you're working towards, then you're going to say you've already achieved that. So I always start my affirmations with, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And it will be something, if, like I said, if you're reaching your goal weight, it could be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I can finally fit into that dress. It could be anything, but something that you want to achieve and that you're working towards. So I say 3 different affirmations, and then I'll write down 3 intentions for the day. So rather than making it so that you kind of put yourself at a loss by doing really dramatic, big intentions, because it leaves you to be a little bit disappointed at the end of the day if you do that. Do 3 really basic intentions. So it could be, right, today I'm actually going to call my mum, or I'm actually going to send that message to that person I've been meaning to speak to for ages. I'm actually going to pick a date in the diary with my friend and we're going to catch up. It could be anything, really simple, but just makes you feel good at the end of the day when you've achieved those intentions and you can tick them off. And then another thing that I do, so you've got those 3 things that I do, so I'll do 3 of each. And then the final thing that I'll do is I will put down, there's so many different things that I have to do in the morning, but I'll put down the kind of physical activity that I'm going to do. So that could be anything. It might not be anything major. If you go to the gym or if you work out, then you can put that down absolutely if it's that part of your routine. But you might say, you know what, I'm going to get off the tube, stop earlier and do a bit of a longer walk today. But something like that that's going to just give you something to work towards. So so I try and incorporate all of those things into my morning routine. It might sound like it takes a long time, but it really doesn't, particularly when you get into the habit of it. You might find that every day you might be grateful for the same thing, and that's absolutely fine. But as long as you're writing it and you've got that in your mind the first thing in the morning, it really helps you to set up your day.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Actually, like when it comes to gratitude and intention setting, these are really good things. Just set your positive mind. Of course, like different people they have different schedule.
Exactly.
Some, especially doctors, some of them work night shift. But it really depends how it can help you keep you positive. So, and of course, you sometimes probably from my experience, all these affirmation, gratitude, and also I do meditation as well, exercise. These are all good things, but it doesn't mean you have to do all of them in one morning.
No.
You can just do one thing in the morning, even just say tomorrow pick up the gratitude.
Yeah.
Actually, just by the way, just share a little bit more information in my Facebook group. I do have a private Facebook group. So apart from sharing the tips about money or finance or tax, I also have the wealth habit rota. Well, I have Monday, that's setting intention. I have Tuesday, that's gratitude. And each day there'll be something positive. Because I know you guys probably check Facebook a lot. So I make sure you absorb as much positive information as possible. And Saturday is health and wealth Saturday. So you can go for the exercise or do anything that's look after your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's important, before I forget, to reward yourself as well.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us, we stick to these really regimented schedules and we do them, and we're happy with ourselves. We're like, okay, I've done that day. But if you don't reward yourself, then it's kind of not really worth it. There's a reason why, when you go to primary school and they've got the star chart on the board, there's a reason why we have that. It really works. So almost create a mental star chart for yourself. So if you are able to do your gratitudes for that day, you think, oh, I've actually done that. I actually did it. I didn't think I was going to do that. Amazing. Give yourself a reward. It could be anything. It could literally be, right, okay, as a reward today, I'm going to put my feet up, I'm going to go to bed half an hour early. I'm going to treat myself, I'm going to have something really, really delicious for food. It could be anything. It could be your favourite film that you want to watch. Just something that's going to make you feel like, right, I deserve that now because I managed to do that in the morning. So always reward yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to cost money either. You don't have to always go to the massage or go to therapy. You don't have to do that. Even just very little things like read your favorite book.
Yeah.
Then that's very rewarding and doesn't cost money. And you can just read it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't cost much time as well. But it's like make yourself feeling nourished.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's really good point about rewarding, and also I think that's also a big part, like in terms of making sure you consistently doing it.
Yeah.
You cannot just say, tomorrow I'm going to do my gratitude journal and I'm healthy forever. It's not like that. It is not at all. Like if I say for your money, like wealth mindset, it's also it is a continuous journey. And your health as well, it is a habit. It's not overnight success. And also when you think about like people have overnight success or suddenly their business take off in a short period of time, they've done years of work beforehand. So it's not something like get rich quick or overnight, like a shortcut. So it's important that it is continuous process.
Yeah.
And when it comes to creating a lasting habit and also make you stick to it, what's your thought about that?
Well, that's always really difficult, I think, for a lot of people. So if you want to create a habit, to start off with, it's always going to feel really unnatural. It's always going to feel really, really difficult to create a habit, because the reason why it isn't a habit at the moment is because you're not used to doing it. So at the beginning, I always call it the growing pain stage. And so at the beginning, it just feels so uncomfortable, so unnatural. But let's say it's like a car going up a hill. So say if you've got a rusty little broken down car at the bottom of the hill, and you are trying to push this car up the hill as fast as you can go. You're trying so hard to get it up, and it's heavy. It's really, really heavy. It's rolling back into you. You have to keep going, and that's exactly what it's like when you're building up a habit, because it doesn't feel natural. It feels uncomfortable. You don't want to do it, but you're telling yourself to do it. But if you just keep pushing to the top of that hill, the minute that you get onto the cusp of that hill, it will turn into a Cadillac, and it will just go zooming down the other side. So once you've developed those skills, and once you've got through the hardest bit, which is going to get to the top of the hill, after that you're going to feel so natural. It's going to be part of your everyday routine, and you'll find it's quite difficult to go back to how you were. It feels more unnatural to do it the other way around. So always, if you are preparing for a change in anything that you're doing, if you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and you don't like how it feels, anything, all you need to do is just keep pushing, because it will get so much easier every single day that you do it.
Yeah, that's very important. And also it's important when it comes to like habits, pick one at one time. Say you want to have like writing gratitude journal every morning, and pick one. Just pick one and make it stick. Yeah. You don't have to do it all, like do them all together, and you overwhelm yourself. Yeah. So just one at a time, and gradually you build up. Build up. It's just like I remember the time I start planning my day before bed. So before I thought I need to have a calendar. I need to create a calendar, like a daily, monthly, yearly calendar, and also like writing every night before I do the, it's called daily breakdown. But then it overwhelms me. But what I did was I started out just writing down what I must do in the next day. But then it eventually developed like a daily breakdown, and then I do weekly review, and now do monthly review. So build up like that. Yeah. So when it comes to health, pick up one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, that's really good point.
Thank you.
Is there any other, apart from, of course, we talk about morning routine, prioritize, as well as creating lasting habits. Is there any other tips you would like to share apart from this?
So I would say for quick tips is, it depends on what you're looking for. So obviously to develop habits and get into a routine of everything, just be prepared for the growing pains. If you know that you can handle the difficult stage, you'll be able to handle life when it does start to pick up and when it becomes more natural. And one thing I always say to everyone is challenge yourself. So if you feel like you've got through your day and you've not done anything that's kind of put you out of your comfort zone, then you're probably not really growing as a person in any direction. So for example, this being on a live video in front of an unknown audience, this is something that's not particularly, I wouldn't say it's in my comfort zone, but it definitely makes me feel like, right, I can tick that off my list now. If I can do that, then I could probably move on to the next stage. And so I think if you can really get into a habit of challenging yourself every day with something really, really small, it might be that you're in the gym and you want to move up to the next, level, the next weights or whatever it is that you want to do. Just start introducing new and unusual things into your daily routine. And although it does feel uncomfortable at the beginning, it will get better. That's what I would say, 100%.
Yeah, that's great. And the same as, actually, I've been doing Q&A Monday every week since February, but this is the first one that actually does health and wealth connection. Although I'm really enthusiastic about this topic, I've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
That's why I start doing it. It's not comfortable at the beginning. And also it's a testing. I would be really grateful if you guys have any feedback about the content, about the concept, then that'd be really helpful. But then I do enjoy this episode. I always into health and fitness. So yeah, it's something I'm passionate about. Okay, so when it comes to, as you said, some quick thing or small thing, I think you do have some tips about like quick snack, like what you put in your body.
Yeah.
Like things, perhaps, again, quick snacks is you have during the day, prevent you from wanting to have that chocolate bar.
Yeah.
So
it helps.
Yeah.
So, for example, I love food. Like anyone that knows me, I'm an absolute foodie. I love to eat. But what I do now is I just try and I give myself almost treats. When I've achieved certain things, that's when I treat myself a little bit more. But I have found some little healthy sort of alternatives that I can do that actually make life a little bit easier for me. So I don't feel like I'm being that naughty when I'm being naughty. So, for example, obviously it's summer. I love ice cream. I love ice cream to pieces. I've been eating loads of ice cream this summer, and I think that's another thing. Don't beat yourself up if you do have naughty things or don't work out. Just enjoy. Like as long as you're happy in your mind and you are looking after yourself and you are growing, then that's the important thing. But what I realised is amazing. I can have my ice cream as an extreme treat, but also in between all of that, one of my favourite snacks to do is actually protein ice cream. So literally all you're going to use is yogurt. You use ice cubes, or like put them in the the NutriBullet thing. Put it in there with some soy protein, which I tend to use because it's plant-based. Grind it up, blend it up a little bit, mix it all in, and then I put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. And then you've just created yourself a nice, healthy version of ice cream. So it's not got as many calories, it's not got as much sugar in it, but it fills me up. It makes me feel like I'm eating ice cream. So that's one really, really healthy hack that I would say. Give yourselves alternatives to the things that you like to eat. If you like things like deep fried foods or like fried chicken and things like that, I actually I do some live cooking videos about different like sort of healthy alternatives. And one of the options is if you like crunchy KFC, you can make your own. Get some chicken breast, marinate it in like egg yolk, and mix it with all different seasoning. Crush up some cornflakes and roll it in it, and then bake it, and it tastes just like KFC. It's amazing. So if you can kind of get into a position where you go, right, I'm going to treat myself. I'm not going to go for the extreme option. I'm just going to go somewhere in the middle. It makes you feel good, but you're still also working towards your goal as well.
I really like that. Yeah, it's like you don't have to go to the extreme overnight. You just gradually develop yourself. So even if, tomorrow, if you pick up the chocolate bar, but you eventually want to lose weight, don't beat yourself about that. It's just like, it's always a journey, and also it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I really like that.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, perhaps in a bit, I will let Sherilyn to share more about what she does. But of course, Sherilyn Shirley has her own community,
Yes.
which she shares more information about this kind of recipe. So yeah, you can, if you are interested, be free to subscribe. Later on we'll put a link in the comment below. Okay, so having said that, if people want to find more about these things, perhaps it's time for you just to tell people how, like, what you do, what else you do, where to find your community, and how they can get benefit from it.
Yeah, of course. So you're welcome to add me on Facebook if any of you guys wanted to find out some more information or have a look at some of my online cooking videos. You know, I'm not a professional chef, so I'm warning you now, but I definitely love to share ideas that I get, so you're more than welcome to join me and get involved. You can just add me on Facebook. I think I'm tagged in here somewhere. It's Sherilyn Carter, so add me on Facebook. I also work with some natural health products as well, which I think is really, really important, because there's no way that I could have the lifestyle that I have without getting the right substances into my body. So I didn't really used to be effective with vitamins and health drinks and things like that, and I found that I used to get really, really run down quite a lot and quite easily, and I think that's normal for, you know, most people, and it's just common, but definitely now I've got a better sort of immune system, a lot stronger than I used to be, and I think that comes down to having a bit more organisation in my life and being a little bit more planned, and also getting the right nutrients and minerals and vitamins into my body, and so I work with them as well. So if you want to find out more information on sort of nutrition, I'm absolutely happy to help you. But yeah, that's basically a little bit about me. You are welcome to join into my squad as well. I love to travel, and so I've got some kind of like a travel group, so a little community where we can kind of share tips on travelling and things as well.
That's fantastic. So I've just seen Bhavna saying hello, Bhavna. We were towards the end of this live, but you can always go back and watch a replay, because today we do have some really valuable. Wow, thanks for the love. Really valuable tips about how you can look after your health, especially you have a busy life in London.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it is not easy. Okay, so of course, if you are more than welcome to connect with Sherilyn, and also just so you know, Sherilyn is also in my community. So probably she's been tagged in some of the posts already. Later I'll share this video again and tag her. So, okay, will do. Yeah, you got a fan. Bhavna is actually doing meditation.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah, so her meditation is really good. That's actually become part of my, now it's a bedtime routine. So when you say morning routine, sometimes I do a little bit meditation, depends on the time, but bedtime routine definitely. It always gives me really good night's sleep.
Yes,
that's also important for you to be more productive during the day.
Yeah, and wind down at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay, so be free to connect with Sherilyn, and also she's also in my private Facebook group. My group is basically not just about tax tips, not just about money or wealth building, because we believe that the most important wealth is actually your health. Actually, last week, one of my mentors was talking about something really shocking. It was like he was talking about someone taught him a great lesson. It's where is the richest place in this planet?
Where?
Where?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
It's actually
is it a riddle?
It's a graveyard, because lots of people are taking their dreams with them.
That's actually really interesting. It's really sad, actually.
Yeah, and also I say the reason why it is the richest place, because lots of people are taking their health for granted during their lifetime. So don't let that happen to you. Take care of your health, and also follow your dream, follow your heart. So this is an episode as a me of following my passion. It's the first time, not comfortable, but I'd love to have your feedback on the concept and on the idea, and how it can make more sense and how it can serve you better. Okay, so before we close, before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, really. I think we've pretty much covered everything. But I definitely just want to say that you're so right. I just want to pick up where you left off and just say that, you know, if you are striving for a dream, a goal, anything, or even if it's just, you know, something that you want to achieve, I definitely think that you are so capable of doing it. And I think a lot of us, unfortunately, we don't tend to believe in ourselves, and we don't actually allow ourselves to push ourselves out of that comfort zone. So if you are sitting in your comfort zone right now, get out of it. That's it. Just get out of it. And even if it's just a little bit, you know, one toe at a time, and just start kind of doing something to strive towards your goals every day.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, guys, hope you enjoy this video, and do connect with us in my tribe. I've already put my link over there, and I will put more links about Sherilyn in the comments. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye. Happy bank holiday.
Happy bank holiday.